Good morning, everybody. It is April the 19th. Woo, 19th. All right. Today, you're going to need a pair of weights and your chair. We're going to be doing 7 things. So we have a list of 7, and we're going to do that one 3 times. What we're going to do is we're going to be 25 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 2 times in a row. Okay. So whatever we're doing, we're going to do it 2 times in a row, and then we'll switch to the next one. So rather than have us do it for like a minute and then have 15 seconds, because a minute is a long time, and it's good for us to do that every once in a while. But sometimes you need that little bit of a break to let yourself get a mental change or a physical change of some sort. So this is going to allow you to modify as you need to. My modification for today, since I'm still dealing with tendonitis, is that rather than using weights on some of the things, I'm going to be using my 2 yoga blocks to move through the same space that I would be moving the weights through. So I'm getting the workout in my arms. I'm just not having the weights that I'm having to deal with in my elbow. All right. So that's what's going to go on there. We're going to start by doing a little warm up, and then we'll get right into our drills. So everybody get yourself ready. And here we go. Let's just start by striding. I want you to just take a big stride, walk around your room like you're looking for something. Nice big walking movements. Go all the way around. Wherever your room is, I want you to take nice long strides, and I want you to add your arms into it. And don't forget to go backwards. Now, I know you don't want to stride backwards necessarily. Do take some bigger steps, but be mindful of those bigger steps. Good. So you slow down just a little bit, but you want to be confident in placing your foot behind you and then moving yourself forward. Good. Turn around. Make sure you're doing some pivots and some turns. Doing the catwalk. There you go. And let's come back and come do some side stepping. We're just going to take some big steps to the side. Get these hips warmed up. And do some diagonal stepping perhaps, and then back. And then diagonal stepping here. And then come to the center and let's march. And start with a shrug roll. We call it the shrug because you're bringing it up towards your ears. Flex your hands while you're doing it. And let's go the other way. Flexing out those shoulder blades, keeping those fingers moving. And let's lift the heel. Ooh, that feels good on the quads, y'all. All right. And a couple of knee lifts. All right. So we're going to start with jacks, guys. We're going to do 2 sets of jacks and go into front arm, side arm raise. Any kind of standing jack that you want to do. 5-second countdown. And we're going to start our jacks in 3, 2, 1. So, arms. At least get those elbows shoulder high. You can do the step out jack that I'm doing. You can do a marching jack. Heel jack, which is just taking the heel to the front. You can do a traditional jumping jack if that's on your agenda today. And we're going to take a break in 3, 2, 1. Shake those arms out. Shape those hips out. We're going to do jacks again. So if you want to change it up this time, you can. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. On the marching jack, you can actually march forward and back doing your hands if that's what you want to do, okay? And I'm going to just keep changing it up. Keeping my feet entertained and my elbows coming up and down. Now, when the timer sounds, you're going to need to pick up your weights, and we're going to go into front arm and side arm raise. And we'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Shake your arms out. Pick up your weights. I'm going to use my little blocks. And we're going to do front arm, side arm, raise. 3, go here. And then out. Now try not to go any higher than your shoulders, okay? Nice, gentle movement. We're going to do this set twice. Squeeze those shoulders when you take those arms out. Good. And we're going to take a break in 3, 2, 1. Do your rolling shrug, and then we're going to reset and do it again in 3, 2, 1. Front arm raise. Side arm raise. Good. On the next set of beeps, you're going to put your weights down and we're going to go into hip hinge. We'll probably spend the first part of it getting ourselves stretched and then go into the pulsing in the second part. Good. Nice movements, you guys. Slow it down if you need to. And we're going to put these down in 3, 2, 1. Go to your good stance for your hip hinge. You're going to roll your hips back and tuck your belly button in 3, 2, 1. And we're just going to hold this entire 25 seconds as a stretch. So keep your head and neck at neutral. Feeling for your hamstrings. If you want to give your hamstrings a little love by doing that little massage on there, you can. Take a little breath up and down back into your hamstrings. You want to get that nice little stretch there. Now remember, we're doing these trios several times in 3, 2, 1. Come up, do a couple of heels, and then we're going to reset. Hips back, belly button down, and we're going to go right into our pulses. And your pulse can be faster or slower. I'm going to let you choose how you want to do it. You need your head and neck at neutral. Make sure you're taking care of your lumbar. Always taking care of your back. Good. And when we come out of this, we're going to go into knee lift. In 3, 2, 1. So lift your heels. And we'll do a little reach pull with our knee lift just to give our arms something to do. In 3, 2, 1. So you're bringing that knee up. Trying to bring it up as high as you can. So to start off with, we're going to stay right here in the front. If you don't want to do arms right now, you can just take them right on out and do like a marching arm instead. Good. Now knee lifts are very versatile, and we're going to do something different on the next 25. 3, 2, 1. All right, keep your hands down. We're going to take our knees out to the side, so use your arms for balance. In 3, 2, 1. So we're going to take the knees here and here. So you want to kind of bring the elbow across. So you're adding in that little bit of spinal rotation. Don't make it a true crisscross ab, guys. And our next set, you're going to pick up your weights. We're going to do pushbacks. In 3, 2, 1. Shake your legs out. Pick up your weights. Stand up nice and tall. Nice long arms. You're going to keep your arms long and push them straight back in 3, 2, 1. Now, once you start lifting, they only come down just a little bit. So notice you're not even coming back down all the way to your hips. Just keeping it back here. I like doing the longer arms. It's a little bit more functional than the kickback because you reach behind yourself all the time. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do our rolling shrug. And we're going to reset and do this one again. In 3, 2, 1. So you lift and you just come back down about halfway. Really focusing on keeping that lift behind you and long. All right, on the next set, we're going to put our weights down and we will do true crisscross abs at this point while we're standing. In 3, 2, 1, weights go down. Now, we've already done the knee lift. Everybody just kind of give yourself a little knee lift there. Remember, you're going to do rotate across and lift the knee. So it's going to be here. So you're not trying to touch the knee. Your upper body stays up. Your knee raises. You wanted to get that spinal rotation first. We'll add the crunchy part next. How about that? Good. Hands are open, loose, relaxed. In 3, 2, 1. Shake your hands out. Now this time, if you want to add a little bit of a crunch and try to touch elbow to knee, you're certainly welcome to. In 3, 2, 1. Because you always want to warm up your back before you try to get into that little bit of a bend. All right. On this next set of beeps, we'll pick up our weights for the number 7 move in 3, 2, 1. Shake those hands out. Go to your wide stance and hold your weights in the V hold. Nice and long. We're going to do side reach, slow and steady. We're not doing short and fast here. This is our stretch. First round, always going to be a stretch. Good. Just kind of keep it in there. Shoulders and hips in line. 3, 2, 1. Do a little bit of a hip hula here, guys. And the other way. All right, a little bit of shoulders, shrugging back into place in 3, 2, 1. And your little side to side. All right. We're going to do this whole set again, starting with jacks, but we're going to do everything from the seated position. So make sure you take your weights with you to your chair. All right. And we'll be moving to the chair in 3, 2, and 1. All right. I'm going to put my weights behind me and have my blocks to the side for my front arm, side arm raise. All right, if you need to get a drink, this is where you're going to do it. We're going to jacks from the seated position. So go ahead and sit down on the front edge of your chair, and we will start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So you want to just have that slow move. Now, you can keep your knees bent like I've got them going here, or you can have your legs long and do the double jump here, where you're doing a lift. You can do one leg at a time. So you can do it with straight legs. You can do it with bent legs. You can do it with long arms. You can do it with short arms. And we'll change it up here in 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you do bent arms and bent knees, we call that power jacks. So you can do any sort of mix in 3, 2, 1. So power jacks are here when everything is bent. And you could add a pair of weights to this. So you have that option next time we do the trio. So it's much faster when you have everything shorter, right? But if you change it to long, you have to use your abs a little bit more. You can always change it. In 3, 2, 1. We're picking up our weights for front arm, side arm. I'm using my blocks. So sit up nice and tall. Hands are here. And you're going to front arm raise and then take it all the way back down to the chair and then out to the side. Now shoulder level. Okay, your shoulder level, which is a little bit lower than you think it is. Okay. Your shoulder level is not actually your ear level. All right, we're going to take a little break here. In 3, 2, 1. Do your shoulder shrug. And we're going to do this again. Front arm, side arm raise. In 3, 2, 1. Up and out. So you want to have nice posture on this. At the beeps, we're going to just put our weights down. So secure those behind you so they're not in your way. All right. Now, we are at our chair. Go ahead and stand up. Put the back of your legs against the chair. We're going to use that as our target. Roll your hips back. And we're going to just go into our hinge in 3, 2, 1. And just let your legs rest against the back of the chair. And just press into that little gentle push. Saying hello to your hamstrings now that your legs are braced against something. It's a little bit different because you can't really sloop yourself back into it. And we're going to come up in 3, 2, 1. Shake your legs out. Little hula. Now I'm going to widen my stance because I like a wider stance. We're going to roll our hips back in 3, 2, 1. Go a little lower and a little higher. So do your halfways here. So technically the hip hinge is the only thing we stand with for all 3 sets that we're doing. Everything else is either seated or standing. When we sit down, we're going to pick up our weights again. I'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Sit on the front edge of your chair. Get your weights. And I want you to have them in V hold, and we're going to do pushback, so make sure you know where the back of your chair is. Chest is up, and you lift behind you. Now, you can kind of lean forward a little bit and kind of increase the amount you lift. And because you're holding the weights, so part of the weight is sticking out, it's a little harder because it's a little longer. If you need to change that grip, change that grip. But let's do that for this one, and we'll change it up here in 3, 2, 1. Go into your rolling shrug, and you're going to flip your grip to normal grip, and we're going to get ready and go back into our press back in 3, 2, 1. So you're just pressing up and behind you with a nice open chest. Make sure you're breathing. Good. All right. Okay. We're going to do knee lift next, because I skipped one. So knee lift should have been here, but that's okay. And we're going to put our weights down. All right. Roll your shoulders, shake them out. Knee lift. You can do one leg at a time or both legs at a time in 3, 2, 1. You're just going to lift and tap your toes. Now, if you're doing singles, stay on that toe position, and then just every 2, switch legs, okay? So if you're doing singles, do them like this. If you're doing doubles, lift and tap your toes. All right, and you can always change how you're doing it in 3, 2, 1. Roll your hips forward, press your belly button into your thighs, and then let's come back up and get ready and do it again in 3, 2, 1. Nice, easy lift. Make sure you're controlling the up and the down part. Our down tends to want to slam into the floor. Don't let it slam into the floor. You can always do like double, double, single, single. All right? You can change it up. Okay, after this, we're going to do crisscross abs. And we'll be changing to that in 3, 2, 1. All right, rock your hips just a little bit. Take your legs out, bring your hands here. Remember, rotation first and then knee lift. So you're going to rotate and lift the knee. Now, your legs are apart, so your elbow and your knee are not even in the same state at this point. And that's okay. Because lifting your leg while your knees are this wide is a trick. But we'll change it up in our next section. We'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Rock on your chair. Walk your knees in a little bit more. Bend at the waist. Arms up. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. So you want the rotation and the lift. Now they're closer. Good. You'll pick up your weights at the next set. We'll do our side floor reach. In 3, 2, 1. Shake it out and do a little bit of a rock. Get your weights. Hold them in V hold. Widen your stance to 45. Shoulders and hips. In 3, 2, 1. To the side. Nice and slow. Give your back the chance to adapt to this movement. And it's important to keep your shoulders and hips in line. If you roll your back forward, your shoulder's going to be in front of your hips, and that's a different movement. And we'll change it up in 3, 2, 1. So go to regular hold, sit up nice and tall. Feet are still at 45, shoulders and hips. And we're going to go a little faster. Ready? Here we go. And rock. So you're going to brace. Lift your toes a little bit and use your heels to hold you steady. Now notice you're not trying to go as low. So you have to use that bracing motion inside your core. By lifting your toes, it helps you to use your heels as bracing as well. Good. And we're almost done in 3, 2, 1. All right, set your weights behind you on the chair. Shake your hands out. Now, my lovelies, you get the choice. We're going to be doing everything again. The jacks, the front arm, side arm, the hip hinge, the knee lift, the pushbacks, crisscross abs, and the floor reach. And you get to choose whether you want to sit or stand. Now, I'm going to do standing for the first round and sitting for the second round just for the sake of continuity, but you get to choose how you want to do it. So everybody go ahead and get up and get set, and we're going to get right into it. So in 5 seconds, we're going to start with our jacks, and let's go. However you want to do your jacks, I'm going to do them standing first and seated in the next round. I'm taking mine into a little bit of a squat just because I want to. And we'll change it up in 3, 2, and 1. If you're going to sit down, make sure you're on the front edge. I'm going to do power jacks for the entirety of my 25. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, and go. Stretching those elbows forward. Very much a seated cardio. Good. Nice. Everybody's got their different things, and I appreciate the fact that you feel free to do what you want to do. We're going to change it up in 3, 2, 1. We're going to pick up our weights and do front arm, side arm. I'm going to stand up for the first round and sit for the second. 3, 2, 1. Our gentle lift to the front and to the side. Now, front, you want to brace in your core, and side, you want to be squeezing those shoulder blades a little bit. So 2 things to kind of focus on. Shoulder blades here, and that core lift. And I'm going to go to the sitting down part for the second one. In 3, 2, 1. You get to stay and do whatever you like. Just make sure you're in good posture for it, okay, guys? Here we go. And we'll do it in 3, 2, 1. Abs, shoulder blades. Brace in your core. Squeeze the shoulder blades. The core still activates here too. This is more core bracing when you're front. All right. On the next set, we're going to put our weights down and do our hip hinges 2 in a row. In 3, 2, 1. So go to your stance, chair or no chair. Roll your hips back, tuck your belly button in. Get into those hamstrings, and here we go. Down and up. This is where you get to focus on just the work part. We've done 2 rounds of warm up and tiny work. Now we get big work. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're taking care of and being mindful of your back. Come up in 3, 2, 1. Hip hula. 2 and 2 real quick. And a couple of heel lifts. 1, 2. And start rolling your hips back in 3, 2, 1. Down and up. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Excellent. We'll be doing knee lifts next. I'm going to do mine standing and then sitting, so you know where we're going with it. And we're going to change that. In 3, 2, 1. Knee lifts for sure here, guys. Knee lifts. Or sorry, heel lifts. We're fixing to do knee lifts. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Knees up. I'm going to alternate my forwards with my outsides, just to change it up for myself. You can do it any way you want. If you want to stay forward, that's great. If you want to do some outside turns, that's great too. And I'm going to go to seated in 3, 2, and 1. Now remember, seated, you do singles and doubles. I'm going to do a combination of that of 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do 2 doubles and then a single and a single. But you can do any pattern you choose as long as you're moving your legs, right? Good. After this, we're going to do our pushbacks. So you'll pick up your weights. And we're going to change that up in 3, 2, 1. Pick up your weights and stand. Roll those shoulders back and take those weights behind you. And we're going to push in 3, 2, 1. Focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. Good. Nice movement behind. I'm going to go to seated for the next round. And I'm going to use my weights in the long position. In 3. Nope. 3, 2, 1. Long position is holding it by one weight. So the weight is long behind me. All right, I'm going to sit down, do the same thing here, and lift in 3, 2, 1. Focusing on pushing those shoulder blades together. After this, we're going to put the weights down and do crisscross abs, and I'll be doing them from the standing position in the first round. Excellent. 3, 2, 1. Everybody stand up for crisscross abs unless you want to sit down, which is totally fine. All right, crisscross abs in 3, 2, 1. All righty, good. Get that rotation. Excellent. Second round, I'm going to sit down, and I'll be doing that in 3, 2, 1. All right. You should do a little rock as you sit down. Get your hands ready. 3, 2, 1. So sitting or standing, same thing. Rotation and lift. And then if you want to go in for the curl, you can. The last thing we're doing is a side floor reach. So you'll pick out the side reach. You'll pick up your weights, and we'll start from the standing position if that's where you choose to start from. In 3, 2, 1. Pick up the weights. Stand up. Brace yourself. And here we go. Side to side. Keep going. Now I'm doing shorter movement, but you can do lower and you can do longer and slower and lower. Those three all go together. Short and fast. All right, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to do the last seated. Feet are out at 45. Arms are nice and long. I'm going to go lower and slower here. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Remember, your goal on these is not to touch the floor. It's to get that bend, that lovely stretch on the one side and the crunch on the other. Shoulder in line with hips. Optimize that. Always make your adjustments if you need to, if your back is having a bad day. And in 3, 2, 1, we are done. Let's go ahead and cross one leg over if you can. And I would just like for you to sit up as tall as you can. The leg that we have crossed, that's the hip flexor that you're going to be feeling if you sit up nice and tall. Into the hip flexor, into your glutes. Relax your shoulders. There you go. And let's gently take this leg down and bring this other one up. Get your hand in position and then go ahead and sit up as tall as you can. We're just going to hold it for a nice long period here. This particular stretch is really good if you can sit and actually give yourself a timer and hold it for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. You'll feel a lot of stuff loosening up in your legs. And let's go ahead and take that down. Let's go out to 45. We're going to roll our hips forward first and let our elbows come to rest on top of our thighs and just let our chest come down to where our fingers are laced. And we're going to hold this position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to lift our toes and then we're going to wiggle them and put them down. Go ahead and use your chin first and roll up. We want to restack our spine. Get back up here, rock from side to side. And then do a couple of hulas while we're seated. 1, 2, and the other direction. All right, walk your feet in. Shrug and roll those arms. Clasp them here and just kind of do a little bit of a lift. Okay. You'll notice right away when you lift them any higher than your shoulders kind of go, wait, what are we doing? That's why you stop right there. And then as you bring them down, kind of pull them away from your neck and then lift them and pull them. So you're going to feel the movement from your shoulders right there behind your spine. You're going to feel those muscles through there. So let's clasp our hands the other direction and do that lift. And that little bit of a lower. Now, if this bothers you, don't do it. You know the rule. It hurts. Don't do it. We're going to undo, fold up here and start with the wrist roll and then into the elbow roll. And then you're going to add a little shrug as you're doing it. As you're swimming, like you're swimming awkwardly on dry land. That's what we're doing. And then we're going to just take those shoulders back and then front. Breathe them up to your ears. And exhale, chin down. And hold this position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, go ahead and raise that chin up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I appreciate your time. I love you all, and I will catch you on the flip side.